I don't have my together. This isn't some sort of cry for help in the least. It's just that many influencers would have you believe otherwise about their own lives. Everything curated, everything organized, everything optimal. Me, I train hard. I don't miss gym sessions. I focus hard on my job, which is bringing content to you guys. And I try to minimize my stress and foster good relationships with friends, but that's about it. I could improve my sleep. I could improve the way that I eat. I could improve my scheduling. I could improve my recovery. I could improve all of those things, and I'll likely try. And there'll be times where I will be consistent, but that consistency is not always who I am. Optimal seems like a really silly word sometimes to me, stemming from optimum, which means most conducive to a favorable outcome, or best. And it's interesting, it's silly to me because when you think the most of something or the best of something, usually you should be done. Anything we do, we want to get better at. When we start something, we want to improve the way that we do it. We want to become more efficient so we can perform better. But sometimes we confuse that with wanting to do the most or be the best. And this is exactly what influencers tend to promote. Their lifestyles that they curate for you. It's the absolute pinnacle of what they could possibly be doing. Having hung out with influencers, I know that they aren't optimal and they aren't doing these things all the time like they would have you believe with their content. And I'm also here to tell you that that is not me. Back in 2016, I didn't really know what YouTube was about. I didn't know that it was kind of this social media thing where someone could have a YouTube channel and speak to an audience. I thought it was a place where people could just share viral videos. Here's a YouTube link to watch this cat video. I found out about a guy called Casey Neistat, and he blew me away. I went to film school, so seeing the ability to write, shoot, and produce something to a large audience was an amazing thing. That was something that I dreamed of doing when I grew up. So I started shooting YouTube videos. And my first YouTube videos were just vlogs of me going to the gym. I had fun with it, but the goal for me was to try and show off, not be who I was. The first thing I did was I posted that video to YouTube and I sent it to the CrossFit Reddit page. And there was a comment on this CrossFit Reddit page that I'll never forget. The guy said, "Nice, snappy editing, but this type of content is not really for me." And I'm going to be brutally honest to you. 1, you're not that good looking. 2, you're not that strong or good at CrossFit. 3, we don't know what your goals are. So I saw that comment, and the first thing I thought was, fuck you, dude. You don't know me. And then the second thing I thought was, well, maybe this guy's right. There's one other thing that he wrote that changed everything for me. He said, "What are you good at? What are you really good at? What can we learn from you?" And at that time, I had coached probably 1,000 people how to snatch and clean and jerk in CrossFit gyms. And I had developed my own way of doing these things because I saw similar mistakes across the board. So the first video I ever made was one progression to help you snatch more weight. I got some views. I got some subscribers. In fact, every subscriber I gained, I got an email for. And I remember I got 25 emails overnight. I was elated. And I felt like I was onto something. So for the next 7 years, I made at least one video per week. See, a lot of times influencers are good looking or they are good at working out. I was never one of those things. In fact, in these 7 years of being on YouTube, I've never really caught a break. When I worked with Derek on the Liver King Lie, I gained 10,000 subscribers, which is crazy. But after that, it's gone back to just a steady increase. In fact, if you pull up my social blade, it's just a steady line the entire way. And so the message that I want to tell you guys is that you're going to be okay as long as you just take one step after the next step. Most Americans aren't active. Most Americans don't go to the gym. Most Americans have horrible habits, and it's almost at the point where most Americans are obese. If you go to the gym semi-regularly, if you aren't obese, or if you are obese and you're working towards not being obese, you have cut up above so many people in this world. And this is not to say that we're all trying to be better than everyone else. It's just important that we know that the influencer life is not real. Real life is real. I need to say this thing to you guys so that I can hear it my fucking self. Look, take this video as a warning to not look at influencers and look at the most optimal and look at the best and the most of everything and have that be what you want. Look at the low-hanging fruit in front of you and take that, and then maybe reach a little bit higher. You shouldn't be looking at optimal ways of recovering if you're not going to the gym. Don't worry so heavily on protein intake if you're eating too many calories per day. Don't worry about the optimal weightlifting program if you're not getting enough sleep. These are just examples of things that some influencers would never tell you, and they would never show you either. I'm here being vulnerable to you guys, saying, yet again, I don't have my shit together. But I know that I do certain things consistently that a lot of people don't. And I don't want to forget those things. Because if I forget those things and focus on the people at the top, I'm only going to let myself down. Thank you guys for watching.